The defense and foreign policy areas are totally intertwined. Politicians are averse to dealing critically with the military establishment or our defense policies for fear of having their patriotism questioned. We should be guided by the words of President Dwight Eisenhower, warning that an inordinate emphasis on military power breeds a culture of militarism that threatens all vital areas of our society. An inordinate emphasis on military power will guarantee our collapse as a nation and as a democracy. Unfortunately, no president since Dwight Eisenhower has even dared acknowledge the growing force of American militarism in our culture. Political leaders continually cast our self-proclaimed global leadership in triumphal moral terms in order to affirm a responsibility to bring freedom and liberty to the peoples of the world, but typically only if our interests are involved. The U.S. is the mightiest nation on earth, and it claims the right to police the world, but the cost of this declared right is a bloated defense budget and a defense industry, a war industry, that knows no limits. Our militarized economy is both a direct cost to the American taxpayer and an indirect cost in what is lost in funding for education, health care, and our infrastructure. Consider the triumphalism in America's version of the end of the Cold War. We boast that America won the Cold War. Of course, we do this with selective memory about the human cost, the collateral damage, the destabilization of governments in the Congo, Iran, Lebanon, Chile, Vietnam, and a number of Central American countries, none of whom threatened this country. To claim that we won the Cold War implies that we knew what was going on in the Soviet Union. Well, at the time, our political leadership was so busy revving up our military expenditures that we failed to realize what was really happening in the Soviet Union, and that was they were actually experiencing a political and social meltdown. Our leaders and our intelligence community was clueless about what was going on. The Cold War was not won by anybody. The Soviet Union experienced the final implosion of a bankrupt economic theory that had been maintained by tyranny for 70 years, inflicting untold pain and suffering on an unfortunate people. If credit is to be bestowed on individuals, then the lion's share of the credit for ending the Cold War must go to Mikhail Gorbachev. The Polish Solidarity Movement and the Pope also deserve credit, and to a much lesser extent, Ronald Reagan, who observed Gorbachev's initiatives without aggressive interference. Thank you. President Reagan could have done a lot more. But the hawks in our government felt that what was going on in the Soviet Union was a ruse. They were finding some secret way to attack us. This is but one example of how we treat and conduct our foreign relations with other countries and color our history, thus enhancing our national delusion. But worse, this phony triumphalism stirs up our jingoistic emotions, and as a result, national hubris requires that our leaders always assert the primacy of our national interest above other nations, even though many times that interest trumps morality. Granted, most nations have arrogant beliefs. The structure of nation states without superior global authority and or without national leadership committed to maintaining an informed constituency mandates a culture of selfishness in those nation states.